What's up everybody, Coach John back here with another video aimed at helping you lose weight. Now I'm going to talk about resistance training today, right? This could be for strength, for muscle growth. We know these things are related to fitness, but it's not always obvious how they relate to weight loss. We know that going in and doing a bunch of bicep curls probably isn't going to cause a rapid or significant reduction in our weight, but we also recognize that there's something innate to resistance training that helps people have fit, healthy, lean or leaner bodies. Resistance training is the most important variable in how much lean mass your body is going to carry. And the amount of lean mass your body carrying is a hugely important variable in how many calories a day your body's going to burn. There's a fairly direct relationship to what you do in your resistance training today and how many calories you're going to burn a year from now. It's not so much that I go to the gym to burn calories today. I go to the gym to build a better body with a more robust metabolism so that as the fat comes off my body or as I get older, I get stronger, I get fitter, I get more capable, and I'm able to keep the weight off, not only because I have habits and more activities that I enjoy and burn calories, but because I've accumulated more and more lean mass, which is metabolically active, meaning it burns calories throughout the day, even at rest, but definitely when we're being active. So this is one of the best ways to go about preventing the dreaded weight rebound after you lose the weight. We also know that caloric restriction, especially over a long period of time, is one of the primary threats to the lean mass you already have. Now, as I've discussed in a recent video, the threat to lean mass is very different if you're a sedentary person versus someone who's built up a lot of muscle. They're basically holding a boulder at the top of a hill, and it's more likely that that could roll downward if they're not careful, or if they overdo it with their diet. But someone who is obese and sedentary, they don't have to worry about that as much. However, it's still a factor, and it's very sad to see people find something that works, say a really extreme diet or copious amounts of cardio, and just push that to get to their goal weight. And when they get to their goal weight, they do not feel good. They look like a string bean. They often look sickly. After doing that much work and just not feeling good, that can be a huge trigger for weight rebound. It's like, why did I do this? So incorporating resistance training into your fat loss protocol from very early on is going to help you keep the results that you've earned, and it's going to help you feel better and look better once you get to that goal weight or goal physique. And it's definitely going to help you maintain that easily. And in the same way, as your body weight is reducing, it's natural for our bodies to burn fewer calories, and this isn't completely avoidable. However, if you are putting on lean mass bit by bit by bit, this can mitigate that drop in caloric expenditure, at least to some extent, which means you get to eat more during your weight loss process and still get to where you're going. So how do we go about setting up resistance training for people who are significantly overweight, at the beginning of their program? Well, whether you have 30 pounds to lose or 300 pounds to lose, you just start wherever you can. Usually the intensity of effort that you're capable of is going to be pretty well related to your health at that standpoint. So if you're a bit out of shape and you have a history of being athletic and you've been in the gym, but you've just been eating too much, well, your body is still ready to do work, and you can probably have a more aggressive approach. You also probably are more comfortable being in the gym. You're comfortable with doing the movements and knowing how not to injure yourself. If you're someone who's severely overweight, probably don't have as much experience with things like this. So you're starting from the very beginning anyways, and that's appropriate considering you're very new at this. And we don't want you to get injured. We want you to be able to, right? We're trying to make you healthier. We're not trying to put you at more risk of health problems. Luckily, there are similarities no matter where we start, right? Because the intensity can take care of itself. You talk to your doctor, you figure out what works for your body, what feels good. You work out at the intensity that makes you better, right? Not worse. And this can be factored in the amount of weight you're lifting, number of sets, the number of reps, all of that can be factored into intensity. The amount of rest you take between sets. You can manipulate intensity in a variety of those ways. So really, when you're starting, whether you're starting at a more advanced level or a very beginner level, it's really about movement. It's about patterns of movement that are inherent to being a living human. And there's different ways to categorize these things. There's jump, lunge, squat, push, pull. Right? But today, in the spirit of keeping it as simple as possible, I'm going to teach you two ways of thinking about the ways your body moves That's the push and the pull, and then also the push-pull legs. So to start with, push and pull, these two categories end up containing the majority of the major muscle groups in your body, right? So push muscles include your pecs, your chest, your triceps on the back of your arm, your front deltoid, your middle deltoid, your quads, and to some extent also your glutes. Your pull muscles include your back muscles, your rear delt, your bicep, and your hamstrings. And your glutes really help with both. Butts are important. Booty training is not just for looking good. It's one of the things that will improve your quality of life, seriously. Most people don't realize how weak their gluteus is and how much strengthening it and the muscles around it in the hip flexors and low back really improves your mobility, your quality of life, pain, all that. So you have the push and the pull, and this is a way of understanding the way your body works, and it's also a way of splitting up your workouts. A split I prefer is push, pull, legs, to where we cut off the bottom of our body, say, okay, legs, that's its own section of the body. Because we don't usually grab things with our feet and pull them toward our body like, a chimp might. The actions of the hamstring are technically a pull. It's easier for a lot of people to put work on their hamstrings, their glutes, their quads, and their calves, really in just thinking about leg movement. And then for our upper body, there are so many muscles, it's really helpful to separate them into the pulling and the pushing. This is a way of understanding our movement. It's also a way of splitting up your workouts. And the great thing about resistance training is that you can divvy up your body in whatever way works for you. As you get more and more advanced, or if you try new things, you might end up doing, one body part per day, just your chest, just your arms, just your shoulders, just your legs, just your back, right? The classic bro split. It's highly adaptable. There's endless options. And that's, of course, what can often confuse the heck out of us. So that's why I'd like you to keep it simple when you're just starting. And I think the push-pull legs is a great place for people to start. Now, let's say you're not comfortable in the gym yet. This is great. You can work with your body weight, find things to push, find things to pull, or pull against, and find ways to work your legs. Let's start with legs. I mean, if you're a big person, you're working your legs. Your legs are strong. They just may not be strong in positions where you're squatting or lunging. So go into these things gently. And like I said, talk to your doctor. But a simple body weight squat, it's so adaptable because, well, John, I can't squat that deep. Okay, squat as deep as you can. And do that over and over and over again until you feel like you've stimulated that muscle so that it'll grow and get stronger. You can get a chair and slowly sit down on the chair and then slowly get back up, and do that as many times as you need to feel that you've stimulated those muscles. This is one of the great things you have to realize about being severely out of shape, is that you kind of can't screw this up as long as you don't get hurt. And then you can find a push. If you can't do a push-up, that's a classic push exercise. It's fantastic. If you can't do a full push-up, you can do knee push-ups. You can do push-ups on a raised surface like a windowsill here, a kitchen counter, the end of your couch. And if you can't do that, you can stand up in front of a wall and rock back and forth, pushing yourself against the wall. And then as you get stronger, move your feet back, change the angle until you start maybe here doing push-ups, and then you're here, and then over time, after a few weeks, you're leaning into that wall really hard and you're pushing harder and harder. And then you can just slowly work your way more horizontal in your pushing. Same thing with pulling. You probably can't do a pull-up at 415 pounds. If you can, I would love to meet you. Please videotape that. Put it on TikTok. You'll be a star. And pulling is really tricky. This is what I couldn't figure out for a long time. I thought I had to be in the gym to do pulling, but there's a variety of ways that you can set yourself up to do pulling movements. You can start training with things like a pull-up bar. You can do slow negatives. That's where you just with a chair, stand yourself up really high, like you're finishing your pull-up, but you haven't used any energy to pull yourself up. You just engage your muscles and then slowly let yourself down. Now, you may be too heavy to start there. So you could start with dead arm hangs, where you just literally hang from the bar 5 seconds till your grip breaks or you slip off or whatever. You can build up quite a lot of strength just hanging. Maybe you're too big for that. You find a door jamb or something where you can, like the inverse of a wall push-up, you can do a wall pull. Find something that you can get your fingers around, lean back, as long as this thing isn't going to come flying free and, send you ass over tea kettle. Find something stable to lean back on and then pull yourself into it and back and pull again, right? And a middle ground would be doing something, it's called an Australian row, where you get under a table and you can row yourself up on the edge of the table. I'll go into detail with these different variations. I just want you to start to think about push, pull, and legs when you're developing your resistance training program. We do not have to start in the gym, but if you want to, you can go in there and do a chest press, and then you can do some cable rows or a lat pull down. If you're capable, you can do barbell squats, or you can work up to it, leg extensions, leg curls, some kind of machine press where you don't have to squat your body weight up and down. You can just press against the machine, This is a fantastic way to get started. Of course, you're going to have a ream of questions as you do this stuff, but that's okay. Just note them down. That's what I'm here for. As much as I focus on the inner journey that allows us to make weight loss easy, weight loss is easy partially because this stuff is really fun if you let it be. And if you don't get too stressed out, because even if you're not good at this stuff at all, that means there's literally nowhere to go but up, right? Unless you injure yourself. So don't overdo it. Push-pull legs, I think, is the best way to start thinking about moving your body in new ways. Finding ways to challenge your body is a lot like finding food substitutions you didn't know existed, like finding out that you can get powdered peanut butter instead of actual peanut butter. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm gonna use this all the time. And that's what learning new things about fitness does for me still to this day. And once you find what works for you, you'll be able to pass that on to other people and see the joy that it gives them. So I hope this was helpful. Just an initial foray into this topic. If you have questions, please ask them down below. You can join the Facebook group, Lose Weight with John, for no cost support. It's really an untapped resource right now. We've got a lot of people over there, but Facebook isn't really showing it to people. So if you jump over there and start asking questions, it'll really help. Your questions are probably the same questions other people have. Us being able to talk about it there, you'll be helping other people as well. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching, or if you'd like me to write a program for you, you can email me at johnoakescoaching@gmail.com. I'm just starting to launch new programs that are much cheaper than my existing programs. When I started out coaching, it was really one-on-one based. And because of that, it was on the more expensive end. Now I've started something called Transformation Pass, at least that's what I'm calling it to begin with. And this is going to get you accountability, a tracking system, twice monthly group coaching sessions with me, office hours basically, where we can sit down and you can ask any questions live that you have. And it allows you to be self-guided so you can get this for a much more economical price, which I believe right now is $47 a month, which if you start losing weight, you're probably going to spend a lot less money on groceries and stuff that you don't need to be buying. This stuff pays for itself. So email me about that. I can send you links to where you can sign up for that. Oh, and also if you sign up for Transformation Pass, you do get a 25% discount on my regular coaching services. So if we get in there and you do hit a speed bump and you want to hash it out over a one-on-one hour-long Zoom call, we can do that, and you'll get a 25% discount on that coaching session. You can do Transformation Pass plus check-ins for $119 a month. And this will get you all the stuff in the Transformation Pass, plus a 40% discount on one-on-one coaching session if you want to take one of your email check-ins and turn it into a one-on-one deep dive to help you get to the bottom of something and get moving again. And it's going to get you 2 check-ins a month with me, where you're going to be able to email me twice a month and say, hey, here's where I'm at. Here's what my questions are. Here's what I'm wondering if I should change or do next. I will give you my best take on what the best next step is for you. And this way, you don't have to stress about it. This is my way of helping you make this process as easy as humanly possible. So email me if you're interested in that. Please subscribe and tell a friend. I really appreciate all your help and all your views and your kind comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.